Whenever you think of the Jurassic period, you think of this guy, Stegosaurus, the spiny armored dinosaur. They called him the roof lizard, with a brain the size of a walnut, one of the dumbest creatures in history. It was the great lie that followed him for hundreds of years. But how could a 7-ton creature with minimal intelligence survive 10 million years alongside predators like Allosaurus? This is not a story about intelligence. This is a story about Jurassic combat techniques and the art of survival. Imagine the clash, an armored behemoth swinging its spiked tail like a medieval mace, plates glinting under Jurassic sun, fending off a snarling Allosaurus. But for over a century, we've labeled Stegosaurus the ultimate underdog, the roof lizard with a walnut-sized brain, too dumb to thrive. Wrong. That's the Great Deception, a myth born from outdated science that painted this 7-ton tank as a slow-witted grass muncher. Reality check. Stegosaurus wasn't stupid. It was a masterpiece of survival engineering, outlasting predators for 10 million years in a brutal world. With plates that weren't just armor, and a tail that left scars on foes, this artistic tank of the late Jurassic redefined defense. But how did a brain the size of a dog's conquer the Morrison Formation? Step into the time machine. Feel the ground tremble as we land in the late Jurassic, 155 to 145 million years ago. The air is thick, humid, carrying the earthy aroma of vast floodplains and seasonal rivers bursting their banks, painting the landscape in muddy chaos. Towering conifers pierce the sky, their needles whispering in the wind, while spiky cycads and fern thickets crunch underfoot like nature's carpet. This is the Morrison Formation, a semi-arid wonderland in western North America, and Portugal too, where over 80 Stegosaurus fossils have surfaced, from Wyoming digs to European outcrops. But picture this oddity waddling through. A 29-foot-long, 7-ton colossus, its body a bizarre blend of bulk and quirk. Stegosaurus ungulatus, the largest species, stretched 25 feet and tipped 5 tons, while Stenops hit 21 feet at 3.5 tons. Even juveniles, like the 15-foot subadult from 1994 Wyoming, weighed 1.5 to 2.2 tons. Imagine a tank on legs. But with front limbs stubby and weak, hind legs sturdy pillars bearing the weight, creating that signature slouch. Why the asymmetry? It wasn't built for speed, max 11 miles per hour, those short lower leg bones screaming deliberate plotter. No sprinting from danger, it stood its ground. Mini twist, and that infamous walnut brain? Just 80 grams in a 4.5-ton body, one of the smallest ratios among dinosaurs. But don't scoff yet. Early paleontologist Othniel Marsh spotted an enlarged hip canal, sparking the second brain myth for tail control. Spoiler, it's likely a glycogen body for energy storage, not smarts. Yet in 2025's Evolving Paleontology, studies like the BioRX5 paper on stegosaur osteoderms suggest a shift to lower metabolism, ectothermic or gigantothermic like modern reptiles, evolving from warmer-blooded ancestors. This design era made Stegosaurus a slow-burn survivor, munching low vegetation with a horned beak and peg-like teeth, grinding ferns, horsetails, and conifers. No front teeth, just a shear for snipping branches up to 12 millimeters thick, though 2016 research ups its bite force to rival cows, tackling tougher cycads. It even dispersed seeds, aiding ecosystems. Living in mixed-age herds, trackways show, safety in numbers amid Allosaurus shadows. But here's the hook. If brains weren't key, what arsenal turned this second-class dino into a Jurassic icon? Lock and load. Stegosaurus's arsenal wasn't for show. It was battlefield genius. First, those iconic plates. 2 rows of kite-shaped osteoderms standing tall along the back, like living solar panels or warning sails. You know the drill. Othniel Marsh named it roof lizard, thinking they lay flat like tiles. Twist: by 1891, he flipped to a single row. Then artists like Charles Knight in 1901 doubled it symmetrically, as in King Kong. But 1960s digs nailed it, alternating pairs, based on pristine Stegosaurus stenops fossils. These weren't bolted to the spine. Embedded in thick skin, they wobbled flexibly, a range of motion for dynamic displays. Primary function? Visual flair, blazing colors to woo mates or bluff foes with poor eyesight, like Allosaurus, making the 7-tonner look twice as big. Feel the spectacle. Plates flushing red with blood vessels, a living billboard in the Jurassic sun. Sense of rivalry thick in the air. But thermoregulation? Yes, dense vascular networks, per 2025 bioarchive studies, absorb daytime heat and radiate it at night. Perfect for a possibly ectothermic giant, evolving lower metabolism from hot-blooded kin. Defense? Edges sharp, but too fragile for direct hits. One theory? Side tilt, to point spikes at attackers. Debated, not widely backed. Communication? Thin keratin sheaths might change hue, signaling threats or food to the herd. Mini question, but if plates were art, what was the artillery? Enter the Thagomizer, that fearsome tail quartet of spikes, 2 to 3 feet long, jutting horizontally, not vertically as old art showed. Coined humorously after a Far Side cartoon, but deadly serious. Tail ultra-flexible, lacking ossified tendons, whipping like a chain mace. Research shows high trauma rates on spikes, breaks, and regrowth proving combat use. Direct evidence? An Allosaurus tail vertebra pierced perfectly, healed post-infection. Stegosaurus's calling card from a Jurassic duel. Thicker and shorter than Kentrosasaurus cousins, less prone to bending. Imagine the swing, muscles coiling, air whistling as spikes arc, the thud of impact, bone crunching, blood's coppery spray. This wasn't passive armor, it was active offense. In 2024-2025 phylogeny updates from Vertebrate Zoology, new European skulls refine stegosaur evolution, linking plates to display in diverse clades. But here's the twist. For all its gear, Stegosaurus's stupidity myth lingers. Small brain, yes, but efficient for a herbivore, grinding low shrubs with a horned beak and triangular teeth. 2010 bite force low, 140 to 275 newtons, half a Labrador's, snipping small branches. 2016 counters with cow-like power for tougher cycads. Swallowing chunks with minimal chew, perhaps fermenting in a massive gut. In our era of biodiversity loss, Stegosaurus's design, adaptive yet vulnerable, mirrors species facing habitat shifts. Many what if. If plates helped thermoregulate in warming climates, what if modern analogs like elephants teach us resilience?
In the arms race of evolution, Stegosaurus didn't need brains, it had strategy. Picture a herd grazing low, the beak snipping ferns, horsetails, and conifers, jaws grinding with peg teeth in a slow, methodical rhythm, the earthy crunch filling the air. No highbrowsing. Its low skull screamed ground feeder, perhaps rearing on hind legs with tail as tripod, debated for Stegosaurus, proven in kin like Kentrosaurus. Diet fueled a massive gut, fermenting tough plants, dispersing cycad seeds like unwitting farmers. Socially, trackways reveal mixed-age herds, calves shielded by adults, a family fortress against shadows. Peak showdown, facing Allosaurus packs, plates making it loom larger, but the real edge, that Stegosaurus swing, evidence in pierced predator bones. What happened when spike met flesh? Healed scars on Allosaurus tell of survived strikes, a testament to Stegosaurus's defensive prowess. Reproduction? Females likely side-lay or crouched for mating, plates no barrier. Growth slow compared to cousins per 2025 osteoderm studies. Ectothermic metabolism conserving energy in feast-famine lands. Compared to today, Like elephants in shrinking savannas, Stegosaurus thrived in semi-arid Morrison amid Diplodocus giants and Camarasaurus herds. But as climate shifted, its design, adaptive yet rigid, faced limits. In our 2025 world of habitat fragmentation, this artistic tank warns, specialization risks extinction when environments change. Mini what if it evolved second brain myths from energy stores, what overlooked adaptations do modern species hold against our crises? Stegosaurus rises from myth to majesty, not a dimwit, but a Jurassic juggernaut. Its plates a canvas of survival, tail a lethal lash. Thriving 10 million years amid Allosaurus threats, it proves design trumps intellect in nature's arena. With 2025 discoveries like Apex, the $45 million near-complete skeleton at AMNH, 27 feet of defensive glory, and new phylogenies refining its kin, this icon endures. But as our world echoes ancient shifts, warming climates, biodiversity battles, Stegosaurus whispers, adapt or fade. What if its second brain was energy efficiency for tough times? For DinoT explorers ponder, would it win against velociraptor packs? Deadliest weapon, plates or spikes? Wildest theory on plate colors? Comment now. If this armored epic fired your imagination, subscribe, bell on, and join the DinoT family for more unearthed truths